morning. Welcome back. Hope everybody is doing fantastic. Let me know down in the comments how things are going in your part of the world. And if you wouldn't mind, would you consider hitting that like button and the subscribe? It really helps our channel out and we would really appreciate it. Well, today is going to be a great day. We are getting ready to run a whole bunch of errands and do some meetings, and the kids have school, and then I think later on the girls have a church event. So it sounds like it's going to be a full packed day with a whole bunch of random stuff. Would love for you guys to come along, and then at the end Jess and I would love to chat with you guys a little bit. We've been thinking and talking as a family a lot about how God uses us, God's plan, all that type of stuff, and we'd love to chat with you guys at the end. So with that, let's have a great day. Let's put a smile on our face and stay positive.
Good morning. As Phil told you, today's kind of a random day. There's a lot of crazy stuff happening, and we're jumping from this place to that and this task to that task. I am getting ready to get the pear preserves finished, and just got done with I guess it was like a video call that Phil and I had with some business stuff, and guess what came in the mail? So we are going to be unboxing and seeing what has arrived. I think we are missing one, maybe two boxes or books. I'm not sure. I think sorry about that, but we had a delivery. Oh, look what I did yesterday. It's not great, but my little gnome fire hydrant is supposed to light up at night, and I don't know what's wrong. It's not lighting up. It's supposed to look great. Got to get in to get the pears started. About a week ago, I found an awesome deal on Bartlett pears, so I got a couple pounds. I think they were 99 cents a pound, but they were huge pears, but they were not ripe. So I set them in a paper bag and forgot about them for about a week. The recipe I'm making is what we call Grammy's pear preserves, because as far as I know, Grammy made the recipe up. But this is a family favorite, and it is incredibly simple. Yesterday, I took them out and peeled, cored, and sliced all 8 pears and laid them in a 9x13 pan. Then I covered them with some sugar and a little bit of water and set them aside room temperature for approximately 24 hours. Alright, it's time to get pear preserves. This is an old family recipe. I don't even know if it's like a secret recipe. The pears were peeled and sliced and set in a 9x13 overnight with sugar and water, basically. So I'm going to put spices in, cook it down till it thickens. Here we go. See what we got, and then I can cut to like actually involve. This part of the process is the longest. After we add the spices, 1 teaspoon of allspice, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. We need to wait 2 to 3 hours. So we're just going to cook this down. They're nice and soft. probably use a potato masher if I need to. Otherwise, we'll just keep mixing, stirring, smushing.
So we have never done Abeka for school before.
So I'm going into 6th grade and he's going into 8th grade.
Last year I did an online thing. I didn't have any books, and she did
Life pack.
So let's see what we got.
Okay, I got some books in mine. Grade 6 Video Independent Study Test Kit. So this is my. Looks like this is.
I got English 8 video test. Okay, that's some fun.
Open around and look at it.
Every class has a video series basically, so you will be able to watch an actual live teacher with kids in it and everything. They are based out of Pensacola, Florida, and you'll actually be interacting. You'll probably learn kids' names. You'll have the same teachers all year for the same subject. Matthew, do you know what subjects you're doing?
I got one of your things. This one's burning. Ow! Ow! Scratched myself.
So this is science. Sing his praise. I have a singing manual, you know.
That's your Bible class. It's probably hymns.
All the way.
What do you mean I have art? I don't want to have art.
But you like art.
There's another thing.
There's another thing for the thing.
It's like Christmas time.
Hey guys, it's snowman.
I like snowman.
For the place. We're getting really close to the pear preserves being ready to mash and can. This process does take a couple of hours at a simmer. We just need to cook it down and get those pears nice and soft. So we will come back to the kitchen in a little bit. It is going to be a great year, having all 3 kids doing the same curriculum. Stephanie is going to be a great help because she has been using the Abeka Academy for this past school year.
Rock on! Okay. What group does this go in?
Looks like we're ready to go, so I will ladle the preserves into a 1/2 pint jar using my funnel, making sure to only go up to the bottom of the threads. You always want a 1/2 inch headspace. The reason for this is because when you put the jar in the canner, it'll be in simmering or boiling water for 15 to 30 minutes depending on what you are preserving and the altitude. So always double check the timeline based off of your altitude.
And then let's share this.
As you saw before, I have my seals and my rings in a pot of hot water, but prior to putting those on, I need to make sure I wipe each jar off so there is no residue, which would interfere with a proper seal during the canning process. Next, I'll put the lids on and I'll tighten the ring just finger tight. I don't need to crank it down. Now, using my fancy tool, I'm going to carefully set the jars on the basket and then lower them in, making sure that the water comes 1 to 2 inches above the tallest jar. Once the water comes to a boil, I will set my timer for the designated time for the size jar I'm using and the product that I am canning. Alright, I've got to hurry up and get the jars out of the canner. I will let them sit right here for 24 hours and then I will double check the seal before I wipe them down and put them away. That's a good sound too.
You do like flowers, don't you? Yes, you do.
Please, you're so snarky. I don't even know if that's a word.
We've had 2 of these dogs, and I have never had a dog in my life that was so into routine as a Saint Bernard. At 7 o'clock in the morning,
Feed me.
feed me. At 5 o'clock in the afternoon,
Feed me.
at 9
Maybe at
o'clock,
4:45.
at 9 o'clock at night,
Let's go to the park. Every time. Every day.
without doubt. It's like they know how to read.
And then there's other dogs who are like, I don't care. Don't make me get up.
So anyway, thanks for coming along today. It was a good day. Yeah, we lots of errands, lots of
Jumping around.
yeah, jumping around in clerical work and whatnot. And
there might still be some balls up in the air, and we'll catch them later. Hopefully.
But at the beginning of the day, I said that we wanted to chat about. Sorry, I totally blanked about how God uses people and God's plan and whatnot. And we've been talking about that a lot, mostly because for the last year we thought we had a plan. We thought it was the right plan, and every time we turn around, it seems like it's modifying and morphing and whatnot. And so we've been talking about what does it mean to be to have what does it mean
Unless
for God
you're going to edit, you're not allowed to do that.
I just leave it in. I can't talk. It's just part of the nature.
It's normal. It's a thing
Yeah. So
that he suffers with.
But what does it mean to have a plan? And God, and it to be in God's will, I guess, is the right terminology. And then at the same time, how does he use us in our everyday lives? I think, we talked a lot about, we look at our past and we think, wow, our past is so screwed up, God can never use us. Or, he will use us in spite of our past. And that is just not true. God uses us because of our past, and he has a plan intentionally for us. And that includes what we've been through. And then, on the same token, going forward, I think everything that happens, we just have to remember that he is in control. He's bigger than all this stuff. So, if you make a plan and it doesn't work, it's not the end of the world.
When it's hard to say, oh, I made a plan and it didn't work, so I failed and I might as well just not make a plan anymore. Because it might fail. But I think that's part of the lesson you learn is you make a plan and it fails, or it feels like it fails, but it just gets, I don't know, maybe the ultimate destination gets changed, or the outcome isn't as you were hoping or what you expected, but it still brought you one step closer to what his plan is. I don't know if that even makes sense. Does it?
Mm-hmm.
But I know from the kids have been listening to different sermons on YouTube or like our church websites and stuff, and going to youth group and then doing their devotionals, and the same type of message has been kind of portrayed, like you may not be perfect, but God will use you because you were created in his image and he has a plan for you. And so I think that's just a really good reminder. They brought that home, and so we've just been talking about it. And
I think the biggest, or another big point, and is I believe that life is to be enjoyed. We should live life, in the words of our old pastor, with joy and adventure. And I think too often we get discouraged by life, get discouraged by plans not happening, by all the stuff that goes on, and then we live life in this funk, and I don't believe that's the way it's supposed to be. And, you know, do you ignore life? No. But you also don't bury your head in the sand and not experience the joy that life can bring. And so, you know, if it's not working, I'm incredibly sorry. You know, feel free to drop some comments down below. We'd love to pray for you guys. But I think it's really important to remember that keep your head up. That's why I constantly like to say, be positive. I say it to myself all the time.
Smile. Even if you're sad, mad, whatever, just smile, because it actually does change the chemicals in your brain, and it'll change your mood.
So with that, thank you so much for coming along for the ride today. We appreciate it. Don't forget to click that bell notification and the subscribe if you liked our video. Give us a thumbs up, and we will catch you on the next one.
And if you could comment and tell me what his inability to speak condition is called, that'd be great.
So with that, we're going to let you go for the evening.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good one.